Dear friends, I'm Dr. Khalid Singh, pediatrician. So in the morning, I think they already introduced me. So today we will talk about the orofacial trauma of young adults of premature permanent. I can't see the. So no problem. I will walk. So we will speak about the orofacial trauma in pediatric patients. Okay. Dental trauma in premature permanent teeth. So normally, what is orofacial trauma in children? It has 1 to 2 years. The children have the learning stage of walk. They are very unstable. They fall frequently and they fall usually on the face because their head is very heavy, so they cannot manage. So whenever they walk, they fall on the face. So 1 to 2 years, and then we have 2 to 5 years. It's a deciduous dentition. So deciduous dentition complete in 36 months. Start from 6 months and complete from 36 months. So every 6 months you have one group of teeth, they are coming in the mouth. 5 to 10 years is mixed dentition. So accident, normally the types of accident, they are playing in the streets, recreation centers, sports and home accidents. In this age, you have immaturity of the traumatized teeth. So the teeth are immature and in the developing stage, and unstability of the dental arches need a precise and strict diagnosis. So you should be very careful when you receive a child. So this is continuously a growing object. So continuously the things are changing in the mouth. So the dental arches are unstable, which can allow to put a treatment plan well adapted and particular to the clinical situation of each patient. So you have to determine your diagnostic measures and you should do a precise diagnostic to find a well adopted treatment plan. The perfect evaluation of the prognosis and eventual complications need a regular follow-up. So follow-up is very important. Statistics, DiCaprio, he had the statistics in the dental upper central incisor is 79.2% teeth affected is upper central incisor. Sorry. Upper lateral incisor is 12.8%. Trauma of lateral incisor, central incisor, and he also described 84% of traumatic teeth are single tooth trauma. So mostly is only single tooth is involved, 12% involved, 2 teeth, 2 vertebrae. You see the statistics, okay? It's nothing. And then you have the root fracture, you have the luxation, avulsion, and associated trauma of the other structures. Classification. So you have to determine how you will deal with the trauma. So to deal with the trauma, you should know which type of trauma you are facing. Number 1, is enamel fractures, is simple enamel fracture. Then you have crown fractures, simple, and then you have crown fractures complicated. Then you have coronal radicular fracture, root fracture, then periodontal lesions. This type of protrusion, subluxation, partial luxation, and total luxation or avulsion. So apart from this, you have alveolar bone fractures. So comminutive fracture, alveolar process and plate fractures, and you have maxillomandibular bone fractures. Clinical examination. Okay, when you receive a trauma in the clinic, how you will proceed? The first question is how the trauma happens. This question is very important. Then we have where the shock happens to evaluate the risk of the contamination. If the child is fallen in the house or in the street or a roadside accident or in the school playground, is contaminated with the dust. When the accident happens, this question introduces the time factor. How long the time lapse between the time of trauma and your consultation. Decisive element for the choice of treatment. This is very important. All your treatment plan is dependent on the time lapse between trauma and your consultation. Existence of the associated trauma is precise if the patient was unconscious, he has cephalic involvement, vomiting and headache. So when a child falls on the face, so you should ask these questions. So whether the patient was unconscious, the child was unconscious, or he has vertige, or cephalic or vomiting, or head injuries. Whenever you see the laceration of the chin, so this indicates he has a condyle involvement. So be careful when you see this chin laceration, you should evaluate the condyle. Palpation of the bone margins to see the bone fractures. Limitation and deflection of the mouth, opening and closing. Fracture meniscal displacement. If he has problem in the opening or closing, so it means the condyle involvement is sure. So while deflection, so it can be unilateral or it can be bilateral. You should take a medical history. The first question you have to ask or you have to see. I don't know here we have the vaccination card or health book. So you should be sure about the vaccination should be updated. The vaccination of the child you should question very carefully. Then bone full of dust. If the child is not updated or if his vaccination is complete, then you have to see the tetanus vaccination. You should refer him to the physician. Anterior dental trauma and parafunctions. Why you should see what are the importance of the parafunctions? Parafunctions. Whenever a child has a trauma of the teeth, so you should be careful if he is a nursing baby or he is taking a feeder, bottle feeding. So this will be a secondary trauma induced by the suction or by the use of the feeder. Or any digital sucking, any object sucking or thumb sucking, any lingual interposition of the during respiration or swallowing. So it will induce the secondary or continuous trauma to that involved teeth. Each of the patient modify the diagnosis and the treatment plan. So you have to evaluate according to the individual situation of the child. and its pattern of swallowing and deglutition and parafunctions. So, clinical examination. During the emergency consultation, we should verify the capillary reflex, blood pressure, pulse, bleeding from the nose and the ear. So if you see any bleeding from the nose, so you have basal fracture, nose or ethmoidal bone fractures. From the ear, so this is the possibility of the condylar or base of the skull also fracture. Intraoral examination. So intraoral examination, what you will see? You have to see the soft tissue. So you evaluate the extent of the laceration and palpation delicately to reveal the presence of the foreign body. Evaluation of the extension of the type of traumatic lesion. So you see how big the trauma and how complicated it is. Presence of hematoma. Then heart tissue, you have the comparison with the homolog teeth. Always the fractured tooth or involved tooth you see with the it's a homolog tooth. Examination of the enamel fracture. Hairline by the transillumination with the halogen light. Dental examination in detail, loss of substance and or pulp exposed. So whenever there is pulp exposure, here you have complicated crown fracture. To evaluate the tooth mobility as compared to its homolog. This is all a little revision, so we will go to the clinical cases. Modification of the crown color, shade, compare with the homolog. You always compare the color of the involved tooth with the homolog tooth next to the domatic tooth. So axial and transversal palpation. So you have to palpate to see the mobility of the tooth. Axial or vertical, mesiodistal in all senses. Examination of the occlusion. So you see the intercuspidation, if it is normal or abnormal. So the abnormalities in the position of the intercuspidation can detect the associated fracture or even or luxations. The coronaradicular fractures. And alveolar bone fractures. So first of all, you have to do the radiographic examination to see the stage of the immaturity of the permanent tooth or its developing stage. The presence or not of the root fracture. Then to involvement of the bone tissue. The information got by the clinical and radiographic examination and evaluation of extension of the gravity of the trauma, which help to have a precise diagnostic and prognosis. So, treatment plan. Now we will see how to manage these patients. Simple fractures, hairline fractures, so it's very simple. It's just to involve the diffuse pain on mastication. So you can use this adhesive scotch bond and sealant and the radiographic follow-up. Adhesive scotch bond and sealants. So crown fracture, it can be asymptomatic or having a sharp enamel margins or associated with another dental or periodontal lesion. So the treatment is always finishing, very simple, is finishing and polishing to the sharp margins. If necessary, you can do the composite and radiographic and clinical follow-up. So dental enamel fracture. Simple. Clinical science depends on the extension of the dental exposure and proximity with the pulp. So you will feel sensation or not, it depends on the proximity with the pulp. The sensitivity is more or less intense with thermal variations. So the treatment is cleaning. You can do the pulp protection, the Dicor or Cavitec. Reconstruction of the crown can be done in the same visit. Crown fractures with pulp exposure. The major objective in this case is permanent immature tooth. It is the conservation of the pulp vitality. So you have to conserve the vitality of the pulp to continue the root formation or apexogenesis in physiological conditions. So apexogenesis, you can maintain the formation of the root in physiological conditions. The different techniques depending on the size of the exposure. Okay, what you can do, the time passed between the trauma and the consultation and the stage of the immaturity. It depends how long the root is developed. So if the patient came late after 2 days or after 1 week or 2 weeks, then in this case necrosis of the pulp leading to stop the apical formation. So in this case, in the late consultation, your pulp will be, you will find the pathology in the pulp. There will be necrosis. Okay? When there is a necrosis, so apical formation is stopped. What to do? Always take a radiograph and you compare the traumatic tooth with the adjacent healthy tooth. It's homologue, always. Okay? It's a twin, two centrals or two laterals are the twin teeth. So then you have to do a therapeutic induction of the root formation, which is apexification. Apexification is a therapeutic procedure to continue the root formation. Now we will come on the traumatic management in the complicated traumas. Luxation, subluxation or avulsion. When you receive a patient with mobile teeth, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, with laceration or avulsion, what to do? In this case, you have to do the contention. Contention is also a fixation. Fixation and keep the tooth out of function. You do the splitting and you keep the tooth out of function during its healing process. So it is very important to be careful. So the fixation method, sometimes your all 4 teeth are mobile. You have a dentoalveolar fracture. Your alveolar bone is also fractured, your teeth are also mobile, and your soft tissue is lacerated. So you cannot splint the teeth immediately with neighboring structures. So whenever you do the splinting, you need to find some fixed structure to bind it. So fixation can be mobile. Okay, you can do a hollow plate, or you can design a fixation. I will show you the case. So indications: in all cases of mobility, the risk of occlusal trauma, aggression of traumatic teeth. So in all mobility, mobile teeth, there is always a occlusal aggression of the traumatic tooth. So in this case, there is a continuous damage. And the second thing, this fixation, this duration is very important. So a patient comes to you, you do the fixation. How to do the fixation and for how long? This is a big question mark. I think people feel tired. So when you have a growing tooth, so you have to follow the physiopathological sequence of the healing pattern. This physiopathological sequence, what is this sequence? In fact, it depends on the two elements, the stage of the maturity of the tooth and physiopathological sequence. It is 7 days, 21 days and 90 days. What is this? Why 7 days and why 21 days and why 90 days? When you fix the teeth. In the first day, when you do the fixation, the traumatic, the day of the trauma, so you have inflammation. As you know, the inflammation cycle is for 7 days. Okay? Inflammation is 7 days. So these 7 days you have to cover with the antibiotics. Why to cover with antibiotics for 7 days?
So that's the best way to interact.
Why to give antibiotics for 3 days? Why not 5 days? Why 7 days? Why 10 days? So why this duration is important? When you medicate a patient, traumatic patient, so antibiotics you give prophylactic and you give a therapeutic, okay, and you give post-operative is prophylactic, not to have infection, and preventive with the cardiac patients. So why this therapeutic? To kill the germs. So when you have trauma, you don't have germs, you don't have infection. So you give a prophylactic dose. So this antibiotic therapy for 7 days to cover the inflammation period. Because in this inflammation period, all your blood epithelial barriers are fragile and porous. The bacteria are entering in the bloodstream. So in the first week or 7 days, we have the inflammation cycle. So to cover this, not to get infected, so we give antibiotic cover. Then what is this 21? Any idea? It's a soft tissue healing period. After 7th day, the 8th day, the healing start. When the healing start, healing completes in 2 weeks, 15 days. And after from 15 to 21 days, it's a consolidation or normalization of the soft tissue. So in 21 days, your soft tissue is completely normalized. As you know, this 90 days is a hard tissue or bone healing. So when you do the splinting, you should be very careful. Especially when it is mobile. So this is the first case of trauma. You see the patient in your clinic. It's a RTA, it's a road traffic accident. And this child was sitting on the front seat of the car. And when they have accident, it hit the dashboard of the car. So what you have a nasal bone fracture, continual, and you have orofacial trauma, dental and orofacial trauma. This is the X-ray. Okay. So you have the soft tissue lacerations and you have all the segment of the teeth mobile. So you have dentoalveolar fracture and soft tissue laceration. So all your four incisors are mobile. So what you do in this case, in the first step we have to do the mobile fixation. So what we do, we give local anesthesia, okay, to the anterior segment, parietal and buccal. We give infiltration and we design the removable appliance for splinting. You have Adams clasp and you have this system of fixation. Okay? When you put in the mouth, it's like this. ये वापस जरा देर से आता है.
So why not fix?
We will do this also. Because we will wait for the soft tissue healing. Because all the soft tissues are lacerated. There is contusion and a lot of ये रखा हुआ है. Okay. ये वाली. Okay. जी जी.
Impression कैसे लेंगे सर? क्योंकि वो तो मुंह में करना है.
Impression, you give the local anesthesia and you take alginate impression.
So wouldn't it displace the soft tissue?
Teeth are mobile, but they are not avulsed. They are mobile. Okay? There is a periodontal attachment.
Correction taking में बस हो जाए.
हो सकता है.
They are so much mobile.
हो सकता है.
तो स्टेज में बैलेंस
अच्छा.
स्प्लिटिंग करके ज़्यादा बेटर.
Let me just finish this sequence. Then we will discuss. I will take the questions.
सर अबॉर्टमेंट ये जो दांत इसके ऊपर वैसलीन लगा के देख रहे हैं फर्क पड़ता है?
कैसे?
बैरियर आ जाता है, मतलब इम्प्रेशन देना है तो एवल्जन का डर है, तो अगर हम एक बैरियर की तरह वैसलीन अप्लाई कर देते हैं और इम्प्रेशन दे देते हैं, चांसेस
आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. Okay. So this appliance we will keep for 15 days for during the soft tissue healing. Okay. Now you see the soft tissue, they are almost healed, but they are not normalized because it's after 15 days. They will be normalized after 3 weeks, 21 days. So this is a radiograph. This tooth is growing. This tooth is, you see the centrals and the laterals. So one thing is very important. When you have the immature teeth, all identical teeth, both centrals and both laterals are premolars. First premolars and second premolars. They have identical movements of eruption. They grow together. They develop together. They are homogeneous or twin teeth. Okay? This is very important to keep in the mind. So this is after 15 days. Then we do the fixation with the hard fixation and immobilization. Now you immobilize the teeth with composite wiring. जैसे सर ने सुबह बताया कि वो अपना वायर डंप करके उसके ऊपर कंपोजिट बॉन्ड के साथ तो उसको फिक्स करते हैं. Okay, this fixation for how long? Never be mistaken, because you are fixing centrals with laterals and with canines. Canines are the deciduous canines. Okay, they are completely grown up, and these laterals and centrals, they have different age, and they have different movements.
कोई माइक चेक करो यार, माइक चेक।
Yes. So the laterals, they have identical movements, and the centrals, they have identical movements. If you will bond them together for more than 4 to 6 weeks, they will be enclosed, because you will interrupt their eruption movements. So their eruption movements you should not interrupt in any case. So what you will do, when the soft tissue healing is complete after 21 days, you will split the, you will reduce the fixation only on centrals.
सर वो कैसे करेंगे?
You will cut it. You will remove from the laterals and you leave the fixation on the centrals. Yeah.
Sir, should it
So
be
this is in 4 planes. Okay. After 3 weeks, when the soft tissue healing is complete, you will release the laterals from both sides and you will leave the centrals only splinted together for 90 days. Okay.
Sir, on day 21 we will
From 0 day.
from 0 to
From
20.
0 to 90.
Okay.
Like this. Okay. Here you reduce it in all your centrals. This is a different case. You do the endo. The X-ray is there. So in this patient, it was both centrals, they were fractured, crown fracture and also dentoalveolar fracture, they were mobile. So we fixed them with the laterals and then we reduce it. After 3 weeks, we reduce it to the only centrals.
So even if they are mobile, both centers.
Yeah, but together they will support each other. Oh. Next case we have this tooth avulsion, complete avulsion. And after 90 days or 3 months, you just build up the crown with composite crust. This is another case. It fell down in the school and his upper central was avulsed. And he came in my clinic within half an hour with the tooth in the hand. So we took the X-ray. This is the socket and bleeding. Okay, this is the missing tooth. You have a gingival laceration. We give local anesthesia. After anesthesia, we clean the teeth with hydrogen peroxide 2%. With micromotor brush, we just clean it for splinting. The tooth surface is clean. This is the X-ray with empty socket. Then we You follow what? This is the tooth. And one thing is very important, never touch this periodontal tissue.
Why?
Never clean it. Just rinse it or dip in the saline and just debride it with the dust, from the dust. And you should not touch it because this will help you in the healing.
We can dry it with a triple syringe or not?
Sorry?
We can dry it with a triple syringe or not?
No.
सर अगर पेशेंट
If it will dry, then what will happen?
Desiccation हो गई।
Desiccation होगी। उससे क्या होगा?
Tooth will niकाल
Yes. Healing will be impaired. You place the tooth in the socket. Then you put the wire and you do the composite bonding. After bonding, you suture the soft tissue.
Which wire do you recommend?
0.7 stainless steel.
Not the preformed one.
You can adopt it because all your teeth are different, so you can bend it with the pliers like I did it. You see this curvature of the teeth are not uniform. So you should keep the teeth in the same position just to hold them. Okay? Your wire should be passive, not active. This is after suturing. Once the tooth is avulsed, it means your neurovascular bundle is cut off. So you have to do the root canal. Okay? So there is no healing. This after 15 days.
Excuse me, sir. Just a quick question. In case of open apexes, if the apex is still forming and we have to do the root canal, what would you recommend? Is it really hard?
You have to do the epexification, of course. Yes. You will do the therapeutic root canal completion of the immature tooth.
सर
Yes.
सर जो स्प्लिट कर रहे होते हैं इस स्प्लिट की बजाय अगर हम ब्रैकेट्स लगा के स्प्लिट कर देते हैं तो लेवलिंग अलाइनमेंट
उसमें टॉर्क आएगा.
पैसिव रखनी है.
It's very simple. Take a wire, put on the tooth and bond it with the composite. It's very simple. And it's very hard, rigid, and keep the tooth out of collision and out of function during the healing. There should not be secondary trauma. If there is secondary trauma or any kind of function, it will interrupt your healing.
Throw some light on, as Dr. Hassan said, how will do epexification?
Epexification, you have to extirpate the pulp, you irrigate with the saline and hydrogen peroxide, and then you will fill up with the non-setting calcium hydroxide.
So for how long?
You replace every 4 weeks.
नॉन सेटिंग कैल्शियम
Non-setting calcium.
उसमें तो सर एपेक्सिफिकेशन में तो बैरियर देना होता है बस
You fill up the canal completely. You fill up and then you seal
Basically,
with glass ionomer. So
उसको जो डालना होता है ना, it will be as an intracanal medical. लेकिन अभी not going for epexification at the moment. जहाँ तक होल्स हुआ है, trauma हुआ है वहाँ पे हर चीज़ बची है तो उसको as an intracanal medicament use करें. Once it's stable, then you can go for epexification with calcium hydroxide, or you can do epexification with MTS.
सर ये जो 4 weeks की बात है कि कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड को चेंज करना है, इसका क्या evidence?
it's not necessarily you have to change. You have to verify with the radiograph is there any resorption of calcium hydroxide, then you have to replace.
If it's not
If there is no resorption, no need to open. You continue. Every 4 weeks, you just follow up with the radiographs.
Documented ये कि अगर सर if you may allow, 21 days में उमूमन नंसना ये रिजॉल्व कर देता हूँ 3 वीक्स और क्या सेफली 4 वीक्स के बाद
नॉर्मली जब हम वैक्सीनेशन करते हैं कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड से हम उसको नॉर्मल रिप्लेस करते हैं आफ्टर एवरी 3 मंथ्स। ठीक है ना, ये नहीं कि थोड़ा सा रिजॉल्व हो तो हम रिप्लेस कर देंगे। वी कैन गो अप टिल 3 मंथ्स, उससे एक्सटेंड नहीं करना। अगर उसको आप पीरियोडिक रेडियोग्राफ लेते रहते हैं और चेक करते हैं कितना रिजॉल्व हुआ है, क्योंकि बेसिकली जो उसका मेन कॉन्टैक्ट है वो एंटी-एपिकल एरिया है जहाँ पे बैरियर बन है। अगर वहाँ पे रिजॉर्प्शन होगी उसकी, अगर काफ़ी किनारे पड़े तो वो इतना इफेक्टिव नहीं होगा, फिर देन वी हैव टू चेक। बट नॉर्मली वो कहते हैं मैक्सिमम 3 मंथ्स, नॉट मोर देन दैट। बट इफ यू फील बिफोर दैट कि दैट इट हैज रिजॉल्व्ड, देन यू कैन चेंज दैट वन एंड देन यू कैन पुट अ फ्रेश वन। अगर आपने don't want to put again more, and if you see that that tooth has fixed very well, then you can make a plug of NT or Biodentin and then तो डिपेंड करता है वेरी करता है, क्योंकि आप जो है ना बहुत ज़्यादा लोग ऐसे और से बहुत कम यूज़ कर रहे हैं और एप्लीकेशन।
अच्छा, मजे की बात है, गुजरा वाले में हम बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ करते हैं।
नहीं वो आप
शायद सीनियर्स
नहीं, आप पॉइंट ये है कि इट इज़ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट मटीरियल
जी,
इसके बहुत सारे काम की नाम मेडिकल में भी है और आप इसको एज अ लाइनिंग भी यूज़ कर लें इसको आप, ठीक है, तो उसके अंदर डिपेंड करता है और बहुत अच्छा मटीरियल।
और आप यहाँ पे अगर जनरली पूछेंगे ना तो जनरली 80% आउट ऑफ 100 यहाँ पे लोग जो है ना कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड का यूज़ बहुत ज़्यादा करते हैं।
तो बहुत अच्छा
नुकसान
मटीरियल।
नहीं कोई है।
You mean कि MTA plug बस दें और
पॉइंट ये कि उसमें इजी मैनिपुलेशन है उसमें।
Yes.
सर आपने कहा है कि जब एवर्सटोज होता है उसको बाद में रूट कैनाल करना है, तो जब एवर्सटोज है उसकी एपेक्स कट करके फिल करके तो उसी वक्त मतलब करें तो वो ज़्यादा
Actually, when you will manipulate the tooth outside the mouth, you will damage it. You will impair. You will face problem in the healing. So don't waste the time. Just fix it in the socket, and then let the heal the tissue. And after healing, you can do the root canal. Okay. This is another crown. Yes. ये भी होगी, ये भी होगी। हाँ, ये। So this was the crown fracture. So you take the cellulite crown. You see the
अगर आप लोग ना समझते हैं
दो स्लाइड
कोई
बाकी आप करके
लाइट ऑन करते हैं।
You can start discussion. Yes. Okay. Okay. You just adopt the crown. Okay. You see the size, visual distal, and your occlusal border should be well adopted. And you fill it with the composite, and you restore the crown.
लाइट ऑन